That's one of my favorites, and I always love to imagine what that garden might have looked like, and having a place to go where you can play and be free, just noticing all the beautiful plants, flowers blossoming all around. um, Noticing all of the little insects and bees and butterflies, and just feeling such a sense of wonder and joy, having a place to play.
Oh, I like that you see all the insects and the bees. That's beautiful. What are the colors like?
It's funny, it's kind of going almost black and white, and then it comes into color. And, but the flowers are popping in. What I'm seeing is there's some blue roses, colorful roses as well. But, just drawn to the roses. They smell good.
Yeah. So you can smell them. That sounds nice. They smell sweet.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel there? How does the air feel to you?
It's warm and sunny, but with a little breeze. It just feels so peaceful, very calm and still. But the movement is in the plants and the flowers and the bees. Just noticing the movement of things growing.
Sounds nice and peaceful. And you said it was nice and sunny.
Yeah.
Good. Well, just look around and tell me if there's anything else that stands out to you.
It's interesting. I was like seeing myself smelling the flowers. Like I can see. It's almost like sensing the geometry of the smell of the flowers.
Okay.
It's just showing me to like breathe deeply, and that breathing deeply outside is really important, because we're taking in the geometry of nature as we breathe it in.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Do you do you feel like in this garden that you're alone? Are you by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feels good to be alone and just do whatever I want to do. I feel like a little kid.
Beautiful. And just breathe that in. Breathe in that feeling of peace and that childlike wonder, the smell of the flowers. Just let that just flow through your body. So peaceful. Just let that geometry enter you. Just breathe it in. That's great. Okay. So I want you to go ahead and imagine, sense, and feel your bubble of white light reactivating all around you inside of the beautiful garden. And use your bubble of light to float you up into the sky so that you can see the garden from the highest perspective. And once you get up above the garden, tell me what it's like to be up there in the higher perspective. What do you see there?
So the first thing I noticed was that I picked a blue rose and brought it with me. Yeah. And the roses have this edge of black that I've never seen before. But I'm just holding that bluish black rose and smelling it. But I'm so looking down on the garden, it's like I've never seen anything like this. It's like a pinpoint of light and or a pinpoint of garden among a sea of white. Like it's like the earth just disappeared and it's a sea of white, like a white sphere.
Okay. Oh, how cool. So the garden is just kind of in the middle there.
Yeah. It's like the only thing that exists.
Cool. That's beautiful. And you've got that blue black rose. And why did you take the rose with you?
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to smell it still. I didn't want to leave it behind. It smells so good. And it feels like I need to continue to absorb the geometry and colors. That spiral and it's interesting. I see it just connecting with my throat. So breathing in the smell of it is activating my throat chakra, I think.
Oh, beautiful. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, we'll just keep that rose throughout the session. So you can absorb all of it. Sounds like a great plan to me. Well, it sounds so peaceful and tranquil up there, just floating. So just go ahead and just lay back into the bubble and just relax. There we go. And you can just allow yourself to completely relax and dissolve into the bubble of light. It's comfortable and it's healing. It's almost as though you are now becoming one with your bubble of light. Comfortable, healing bubble of light. And just allow your bubble to drift and flow over the landscape and through the sky, drifting gently on your journey over the land and through the sky, drifting and flowing and drifting over the land, through the skies. Not only can this bubble of light take you over the land and through the skies, it can also take you on a journey throughout all of time and space to find information that is helpful and healing for you. Now I'm asking the bubble of light to move and take you on a journey to an important time, an important place where there's information that you would like to find that is helpful and healing. You are moving to another time, another place, and we're looking for the most appropriate place and time for you to learn and to experience. Now you are beginning to slow down, and you are beginning to stop at that time and that place. Now that you have stopped at that time and place, feel yourself beginning to float down, down into that time and place. You are coming down now into that time and place. and you are able to see, sense, and feel all that there is about this place. You are coming down now. You have arrived. So just trust those first impressions. And tell me what you see now. Tell me what you feel. What do you sense?
So I went to Alcyon.
Oh, good. Halcyon.
And I'm sitting in, for lack of a better word, a giant chair or a throne.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a cartoon though. I have this big crown on my head, and the chair is like as big as the planet. It's like, yeah, just so big. Or if it's even a planet, it's a sun. It's a, yeah. But it feels small, or just kind of like this rock that I'm sitting on. Maybe not a rock, made out of light.
Yeah, this big chair. Do you feel small in the chair, or do you feel big?
I'm like almost too big for the chair. Like, yeah, it's funny, but it feels like this is just my chair. This is where I sit. Like this observer of. It's almost like the Alcyon is like a footstool. The whole chair is on it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So you said you had a crown on your head.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that look like? Can you describe that crown at all?
Yeah. So, I've seen this before, but it's more ornate than I've ever seen. It's kind of golden, but it's like plasma, like liquid light. And there's a jewel in the center that is, it's the core of the earth.
Okay.
It's like this beautiful reddish, brownish stone. And you wouldn't think of it as a jewel. Like it just isn't super shiny. It's kind of this, it's like I'm trying to think of the stone. It's like a piece of jasper. Like I have a stone that's this beautiful reddish, brownish, purplish color. But it is the core of the earth.
Okay. Beautiful. And what take a look as you're sitting in this chair. Look around, look down at your form. Is there a form? What does that look like?
Yeah, it's it's shifting. I want to say it's like a human form, like I mean, arms and legs and hands and head and feet. But it's something for me to identify with for now.
Right.
And it's shifting now.
Okay.
It is this blue color. but it's almost like stars and galaxies, or it's hard to describe. It's not solid. There's light shining through it, and it's moving all. It's like the body is made up of everything on the inside, though. So what I see happening is she's showing me that form so that I can identify with it and kind of sit down and
yeah.
But it's shifting into a sphere that is going around the whole planet like a sheath.
Okay.
So it's almost like this mother is hugging her child all the way around it.
Embracing. Beautiful. And this shifting form, is this you? Is this you?
Yeah, it's it feels like the mother of Alcyone, the sphere of that motherly energy somehow that birthed her. Leanne has been wondering, what is outside of Alcyone, what is outside of the Pleiades, because that's been coming into her view, but there's this question mark of, well, what's beyond that? Who's the mother of that? And it just feels like almost like a second skin around it.
So tell me about why you're in this spot, in this moment. Are you just observing? What's your duty right now, your task?
Yeah. I am the mother of the 7 sisters. And each of them is a ray of light, a ray, a color. And I am the observer of what is happening, what is going on with their consciousness, what is just watching my children, really. It feels like stepping into their full potential, into their resonance.
That's so beautiful. Each ray of light. Yeah. And how are they doing? How are they coming along?
What I see is there's it's almost like an umbilical cord, but it's going from the inside edge of the sphere. So I would call her Sophia. But this mother energy, and she has these kind of beams of light coming from the inside edge of the sphere into the center of each of the other spheres. And it's like they're birthed from each other, so that there's this cord that connects her from the inside to the inside core of Alcyone and the other 7 sisters, including Maya,
Mm-hmm.
where we get the Mayan calendar. They're all working together. And each of them is like color of the rainbow. That's why there's 7.
Yeah.
So it's like she is the prism who birthed these colors. But they're all connected with this beautiful cord. It's like a spiral. And the spiral is connected from the mother through the Pleiades, through the sun, into our planet, into our bodies. So we are physically, these human bodies are these prisms.
Oh.
We are the prisms for receiving that light from the mother.
Beautiful. So it's all just directly connected down to Gaia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so what you're being shown here then, are you the Pleiadian queen that Leanne keeps seeing? Are you embodying that?
Yes, but it's so fascinating. It's like she's an exact copy of her mother, and I'm also the mother because when you tap into that geometry, you can go up the cord into being the mother. So both.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's something that we can all do as we connect with the ray. It's a ray, it's a beam that's coming into the earth. It's a resonance that we can connect to and become really whatever we want to be.
Can we use this ray to embody our highest selves, our multidimensional selves?
Yeah, it is really the multidimensional beam that allows us to connect to the core of the earth, to the elements, to the third dimension, to the dimension of emotion, which is this canopy that allows us to step into whatever it is we're feeling, we create. So feeling this love from the mother is allowing us to be in tune with the creations that the earth would like to birth upon her surface.
Oh, wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And we can go from there if we'd like to being being in tune with our Pleiadian star mothers. But you can go beyond that if you want to, depending on what questions you ask. We always get answers to whatever questions we ask. So I've been wondering about what's beyond the Pleiades, and it's really just another sphere outside of it that is holding it as a mother, the creator.
That is beautiful. Are there any messages, or is there any healing, or any kind of like activations, upgrades, anything that Leanne could have from this moment of connection with this energy and these rays?
Leanne is fulfilling her job here, she was wondering about, which is to embody this connection, this resonance, this geometry that is expansion even beyond the Pleiades, which is
Mm-hmm.
the embodiment of the mother, which is a sphere.
Mm-hmm.
So we're learning to, we're learning to align ourselves in the heart of the
Mm-hmm.
mother, for truly that is where we live.
Mm-hmm.
We are all these beautiful layers of spheres going inward into the heart of the mother. And as we go inward into our hearts, we can tap into this beautiful resonance. It's very small and very large, and it's all one being. The key is really to tapping into the heart of the earth
Mm-hmm.
in resonance with your own heart. And it is also the same resonance that is coming through the sun. So we are the meeting point of these two rays,
Mm-hmm.
beneath and above. And we are being attuned. If you are in your heart and connecting and doing the work and being outside and connecting with your center, those that are doing that are coming into this greater resonance of the consciousness of the heart of the earth and the heart of the sun and the dimensions beyond the sun.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, we are birthing
Mm-hmm.
the Pleiadean consciousness
Mm-hmm.
onto the earth,
Mm-hmm.
which is allowing ourselves to become living hearts.
So living from our heart space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. Beautiful. What a beautiful scene. Is there anything else here that you need to see or you need to know?
Leanne, Leanne is bringing this consciousness, this connection, this ray into her energy field.
Mm-hmm.
And she wonders if she's doing enough. But really, it's meant to be written on her energy field, and everything else will fall into place as it is happening now.
Perfect. So she doesn't have to do anything special.
Yeah, she can if she wants to. She's drawn geometry and pictures of what is happening and wants to show others because it's activating others around her. And it's so fun to see it happening.
That's so great.
But ultimately, it's an inside job for every single person on this earth to choose whether they decide to be connected with the earth and the sun or to play other stories for a while first before they realize the earth and the sun were here all along, and really they are birthing us into their holy children.
Yes. Oh, what a beautiful message. That's wonderful. Okay. Now, I'd like you to just breathe in that feeling of all of this expansion, geometry, that love, that motherly feeling. Just breathe it in and take it in. Good. And if you're ready, would you like to move forward? Do you feel like you're at a good place to move to another scene?
There's one scene being shown
Mhm.
to me that I have a
Oh, yes. Please,
question about that. Yeah,
please
it's a
describe.
continuation
Mm-hmm.
of what we've been talking about.
Okay.
So I am seeing a torus field, which is like, that it looks like a giant apple.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been wondering about, when we embody this vibration, which is of the mother, it's like we pass our energy fields through the very center. It looks like a torus or a donut with a tiny, tiny center.
Okay.
Um, okay, so we each will hold the vibration of Christ consciousness. And when you hold that vibration and pass through her center, it's like you become a key to unlocking. Um, you fit perfectly into that space. And once you connect your edges with her edges,
Mm-hmm.
you really can go anywhere you want and do anything you want.
Mm.
And you can create in just pure bliss and joy, or whatever it is you want to create.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are creating in duality. Some people are creating in, they want to become a being. They want to go meet their star families. They want to be dense for a while. It's really just, we're passing through. I see it. When there's enough people who embody this Christ consciousness on the earth,
Mm-hmm.
it's like all these beautiful spheres standing on the surface of the earth, rolling around in the rainbow, really just embodying all of the colors. Um, and when you reach that, that's the bridge. That's the way that you connect to really being and doing anything
Uh-huh.
that you'd like.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So this is the key to manifestation, creation.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and the closer you can bring yourself to being in your center, the closer you are to that original vibration, which is, the greater you can create.
Mm-hmm.
And so any desire that you've had is really coming into manifestation by the greater resonance with the mother.
Mm-hmm.
But I see that happening on a global scale.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a tipping point where enough people really reach their rainbow body, where all of the chakras are expanded to the outside edge of their field, because each has mastered each chakra. There's no resistance anymore. And then you really can choose what flavor of existence you want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And Leanne has a desire to, she's been on this earth since before it was created,
Mm-hmm.
continually a part of it. And she wishes to see it through. She wishes to see the earth become a world of masters,
Mm-hmm.
and a paradise everywhere where,
Mm-hmm.
all creatures, all beings live together in this beautiful harmony. And only those pure in heart can really be there.
So she's ready, or she is here, like so many of us, to see it through to the new world, or in some cases, the world it once was. But
right,
yeah.
Becoming something far greater, because it's including humans in a higher resonance. And it's like a big party. Like everybody that is in their heart is expressing whatever's in their heart. And it's literally just being a witness to all the mastery all around you, being in such joy. And any beings who have not been in tune, where do they go? What happens?
Yeah, that's a good question. Where will they go? The ones that don't choose this path, this.
It looks like they are absorbed in the most loving way into the wisdom of the records of the earth. No one is lost.
Right.
Those souls are absorbed into the systems of duality that were needed here to have our experiences. So there is a full forgiveness, there's a full understanding of everything, of why we've had to have such density. There is those beings who have been kind of in charge of the density are willing to kneel at the feet of the mother.
Oh, that's good to know. How does that make you feel, knowing that?
It's such a relief. It's been a very long road. And it's as if what has been rejected as less than, as hard, as difficult, as, all of that has to be reabsorbed into the light. It has to be loved. It's as if this child is being welcomed home. And it's the end of our duality thinking. It's the end of us and them. There is no such thing. It's like allowing the darkness to finally have a home to rest, where it doesn't need to cause trouble anymore. And it's inside of ourselves. It's these stories we've been telling ourselves on the outside, so that we can see ourselves. But it feels like we have reached the depths of what is necessary for wisdom. And it is time to bring that in. It is time to love it.
That's just beautiful. So this seeing through to the new earth, is this her main purpose here right now in this life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Leanne holds many keys and codes that will allow these last doors to open. She has been waiting for a long time for this.
Well, that's great. Now we're here.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And all of what you've described. So the blueness of the being, that's the Pleiadean. That's the color or the energy of of those beings. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a remembrance,
Mm-hmm.
like tapping into the ray that you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's a remembrance, and there's it's like a blue fire that's on the
Mm-hmm.
inside that lights you up. I see that same blue on Alcyon,
Mm-hmm.
even coming from like within their skin. It's like glowing blue skin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when I am outside of that, when I tune in, it's like these flashes of blue lightning. Um, and that's just Leanne's personal color.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Blue
think
ray.
the blue ray, I think we each have our own ray and we each have a purpose. And it's really, it's so beautiful. It's literally just tuning back into the ray that you came out of
Mm-hmm.
from the mother. Um, and you can follow that up if you'd like to the white light. To recreate yourself or to jump back in. But Leanne likes the Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when you ignite that ray within yourself, it changes you. Um, it changes the way you look, changes
Mm-hmm.
the color. You become it, and I think it's connected to Archangel Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I see him as that blue ray as well, or at least part of that family.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Is that part of the blue being that she was seeing? She was shown herself as a blue being. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, Leanne is wondering, what that looks like in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, um, yeah, it's really emitting the light from within.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when you are in enough resonance with that beam, you become it.
Mm-hmm.
And it shines from the inside, which allows for you to be creating with each movement the light language of all that you desire or wish to create or are.
It's wonderful. Wonderful. It's beautiful. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that needs to be said here before we move to the next place or the next moment?
The most important things that we can do now to receive this energy is to be outside,
Mm-hmm.
to be conduit for the rays that are coming through,
Mm-hmm.
just to be empty, to be a receiver. We don't need a lot of stories or explanations. We just need to be love in each moment and just follow what is being given in each moment, and knowing that we will always be in the right place at the right time if we do that. There's nothing to fear, and that all is happening in perfect and divine order regardless of what is going on around you. You can continually tap into the resonance, no matter where you are. And that is the work that is being done now by all those who are tuning in. It's like creating feels like a new internet. Just allowing our energy fields to be the true connections that we have, stepping away from the crutches of technology sometimes. I know we need it and we use it, but it's being used now for much higher purposes than ever thought possible. But yeah, just there's this sense of knowing and release for Leanne of like you cannot do wrong anymore at all. Like just continually show up in each moment and everything will work out. It's all in place.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Yeah. Leanne has to use the restroom.
Okay.
And I will easily come back.
Sounds like a good idea. All righty. Take your time. Take your time. I'll go too. Make it easy.
That's better.
Better? Yeah. Good. Good.
I feel very relaxed still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good. And just get yourself situated. Get comfy. There you go. Good. Okay. So just go ahead and just breathe. Nice deep breath. And just settle back in to that comfortable place of relaxation. Good. I'd like you to just go ahead and just release that scene that you were looking at. Just release it and just let it all go. And let's drift away from there. Let's drift away to another time. Let's drift to another place. where there's helpful information for you. So we're moving to a new time and a new place. And you have arrived at this new time and new place. And just take a moment to breathe into your space. And just tell me what unfolds for you, what you feel, what you see in this new space. Good.
Mm. Mm. It's slowly coming into view.
Yeah, just let it unfold. Just let the breath just bring it in nice and slow.
Well, it feels like I'm in a forest.
Mm-hmm. Good.
It's like the redwoods.
Mm.
Yeah, the really big trees.
Oh. So nice big redwood trees. What else? What else do you see around you?
I'm also big.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like almost like I'm a being, like a body. I feel like a tree,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm walking around.
Okay.
And it seems like the trees are conscious,
Mm-hmm.
as if they are my friends.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were once something that I was, and they've become a tree planted,
Oh.
and they have the
Yeah.
experience now of being a tree. And it really is embodying that torus field, that the deep roots and the big branches, and being that beautiful
Mm.
grounding rod for information. It's almost like they're gathering the light of the stars and putting it into the earth.
Mm-hmm. Can you look down at yourself and describe what that looks like?
So big. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the top of my head is the top of the trees. Those are
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Cool.
just it's almost as if I'm an embodied version, like what I first saw in the very first scene. Like it's almost like galaxies and
Mm-hmm.
the light from everywhere is inside my body,
Mm.
moving around, and I've never seen anything like this before. Um, yeah, it's just kind of shining and twinkling.
Mm.
Um, just like the whole of everything, all the light that we've ever seen is inside my body.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this inside skin.
Mm-hmm.
um,
You're able to move.
yeah. Like I'm the only one. I don't see anybody else.
Okay.
but at the same time, the trees are my family. It feels like.
Yeah. Do these trees around you, do they hold this light too?
Yeah, they do. So maybe I am a tree as well, but I'm the consciousness of a tree, a giant tree.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. But I can kind of. It feels like I can move around.
Yeah.
I don't have like full substance when I'm moving around. It's like a plasma.
Yeah.
So then I see that all the trees are one tree. And they're just collecting. They're collecting light. They're putting it into the earth. And they get to embody all that light. They are the library of the universe.
Beautiful.
Each light that they take in, whether it's stars or they collect that information.
Is that why they're so big?
Yeah. Huh. And my question is, am I on the earth?
Yeah, let's feel into that. So let's feel into that. Let's take a moment and let's breathe into that question. Are you on Gaia or are you somewhere else? What does it feel like?
It feels like the earth. Some images that Leanna's seen recently of these giant kind of mesas in different places in the world, and taken from the air, people have said, "Oh, those are huge trees." And Leanne's logical brain is like, "Really?" But that picture is coming to mind.
That's interesting. So is this a while ago? Is this not present time, but a past time?
It feels like both. Were there once giant trees on the earth? Are those real?
Yeah.
Feels like yes. But it feels like it's like a reestablishment, like a regrowing of these trees, with the consciousness of those who have embodied that energy. They become those trees again. But this perhaps is a greater knowing, a greater connection because of the size of the trees. They are able to take in more light, which is
And can you find out, or what exactly, why are you here? Why are you here in this space right now? What are you doing?
Right. It's kind of a mystery still. I'd like to know.
Maybe one of the other trees could offer you some information.
Okay. Hmm. See the trees growing at poles on the earth,
Mm-hmm.
very orderly even. Um, and they are grounding rods for bringing energy information into the core of the earth, into the elements, into every living thing. It's a lot like Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like these trees are revered for their wisdom, and anybody touching the earth also can partake of the wisdom that is being pulled in from these trees. And it's yeah, it's really, you can tap into anything really. So so Leanne was writing a novel about this in 5 or 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Her friend had an idea about this, and it became something that she wanted to take under her wing. And but these trees are like the original internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they can communicate with each other. They bring in all the light from all around, but they share what they're bringing in, so it's even greater than the sum of its parts. But so Sophia seems to be, or this higher self, or this
Mm-hmm.
shiny, is the spirit of the trees. Um, and she is connecting all the wisdom from all the trees. It's one body, really. um, and they provide this beautiful mother energy to anything that's living on the earth. And the beings on the earth realize they have this symbiotic relationship with everything, so that there's no harm done to anything anymore.
Mm. So this sounds like this is maybe ahead of us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And are you actively doing these things, or are you more observing this situation?
It's really fascinating. It's like, I've never seen anything like it. I just see this giant being, like glittery navy blue stars,
Mm-hmm.
just wafting in and out of all the trees, just dancing really.
Yeah.
Um, there's thunder outside. Ha.
Mm.
Um,
That's perfect.
yeah, it's like counting them.
Go ahead, count.
Yeah, I'm seeing them coming out of the poles of the earth. It's like the geometry that Leanna's been drawing, north, south, east, west,
Mm-hmm.
above, below. There's some in between too, but it's creating like a diamond shape around the earth, turning the earth into it's like a gyroscope,
Okay.
but with trees and the sun, and um, yeah, it's really just opening up the dimensions for everyone on the earth, everything. And they really have this ability to, it's like being in a giant garden, and you can touch anything and feel where it came from and who made it and why, and the geometry. And
Oh, wow.
so it's like so beautiful.
Oh,
Oh,
sounds
it's our
beautiful.
home in the
Yeah.
future.
Mm-hmm.
It's the new earth.
This leads me to a question, if I may ask.
Mm-hmm.
So you you're mentioning the trees and them being kind of like the original internet and everything. It has been said to me that the ascension and moving into the new earth will not be with any kind of AI technology, that it will be with Gaia.
Yeah.
So is that what you're kind of seeing here? This,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is true. You are very right on. The technology is the plants. The technology is the beings.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
it's far, far more advanced than any AI that we could possibly conjure up. And it's really a full return to the understanding that the earth is the technology.
Yes. Thank you for that.
And we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah.
So yeah, you can. It's what Leanna's always wanted, is to really understand where every creation came from. So it's as if you're wandering around in this beautiful garden, and whatever comes to you because you desire it and you want to learn from it. So Leanna's seeing an owl, a great horned owl, coming to her, and she's connected with owls very deeply. But what we've always wanted to do is just to talk to animals, to commune with them, to ask them, how do you see the world? Show me. Let me be that. What is it like to be you? What do you have? What wisdom do you have? And you can do that infinitely. Just whatever you want to know, you can know.
Oh, wow.
So beautiful.
So what else stands out to you? What else needs to be shared?
So I feel like the Sophia energy, this mother energy of everything, will be embodied in the plants, in the whole surface of the earth, including the people, including the beings. We are all embodied. This, like, it's like the higher self of the earth. And it becomes, we have a deep remembrance of the density that we've been through. And it is what is giving us the joy that we feel. Otherwise, it would be boring. Otherwise, we remember it. We don't have to live it out in any way. But at our core is that remembrance of what density feels like. So that communing with the earth in this way is absolutely ecstatic.
That's wonderful.
And really loving that chaos and darkness is the key. It really is to being in oneness once again.
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Wonderful. Beautiful. And Sophia, what can you offer Leanne more about her connection with Sophia?
Yeah. It's a name given to this energy. It's really like a string of vowels we've had to put some kind of a word to. It's a sound current that we are bringing into the earth now. Many people all over the earth are bringing in, anchoring in this sound current of this feminine creator, which instead of drawing lines outside of the spheres, it's really connecting the points inside of the sphere. So it's like we're birthing ourselves into her heart, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
So the word ascension is a little bit misleading because it makes it seem like we're going somewhere else. We're not going anywhere else. I mean, that's not my plan, at least.
Right.
Maybe if that's what people desire, that's beautiful and perfect. But really birthing yourself inside, into the heart of the mother. It's an inward journey. And then maybe there'll be an expansion after the inward journey, but Sophia really is looking inward and into her own sphere and seeing what has been created inside of herself. And it's been very mental for a very long time, very logical. And we are shifting over into a slightly more feminine expression to where the mother is leading, and all the disconnected masculines are remembering within themselves that the only way to really step into the earth that we've all wanted is to be connected to this feminine energy. It's very soft, very gentle. There's the logical part of the brain sits down a little bit more, but it's a balancing within each person. And you see a lot of men waking up to that now.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And women feeling safe enough to embody it now. Finally.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why she's here now, having this this strong connection.
Yeah.
So it's time for her to embody this.
Yeah.
Share this. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's something that seems to flow through everything. And it's interesting. It's like the mother of Lemuria. I've seen this before as a portal birthing Lemuria or Lemurian beings. But it's like the Lemurian beings we are all remembering, sort of that softness, gentleness, that flowing with water. They were very, very similar. It's like we are birthing into a new Lemuria. But the only way that's happening is that we are remembering our mothers, the way we were birthed, how we got here, which is this portal. This is it's tapping into the ray of your birth, and really the earth is a rainbow now. It's yes, I'm a blue ray, but there are many people tapping into whatever their color is, right? And they're being this grounding rod on the earth, and the whole earth is this gorgeous rainbow of variety of people. So beautiful.
It's wonderful.
It's all inside. It's inside of her heart.
Oh gosh, what a great scene and experience. Thank you for describing that. That is amazing. It's an amazing visual.
Leanne was wondering if any of this was even real. It just seems so like a wild journey. Question your sanity along the way.
The logical brain.
Yeah, it's real. And it's happening.
It is. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's great. Okay. All right, let's take this. Let's take this in another direction now. Let's drift away from there. And let's drift up and away from the trees and from that scene, leaving it behind. And we're going to go ahead and float up higher and higher And we'll fully connect in with your higher self, whom I think I'm already been speaking to. And your higher self is merging with you now, stronger than ever before. And your higher self is merging with you so that we can get healing and information. You are fully connected with your highest self. May I speak to Leanne's higher self now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I was speaking with you all along.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, so you've shown some amazing, amazing scenes to her so far. So, can you tell her why you first took her to that space of sitting on the in the chair on the throne, the Pleiadian queen and all the rays and everything? Can you explain to her why you showed her all that information?
Leanne has been given many pieces of the puzzle. It's been quite a treasure hunt, and she's attempting to put it all together into one big picture. And this is the big picture that is putting all the moments of her life into knowing that every moment has been perfect to create this imagery, so that she can embody it and really be that vibration here on the earth now.
Mm-hmm. Mm. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Is there anything else that she needs to know in regards to what she was shown in order to embody that?
She will not forget. She is remembering. Sometimes Leanne's afraid of forgetting information that comes through because it's a lot sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is that the pictures are here. She can see the imagery, and the imagery is what is necessary to be held, so that it is written on her energy field. She can share it or not share it, but it's here. And sometimes the best way to share it is to say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing to fear. She cannot lose any of it. It cannot be taken away.
That's wonderful. And why did you let her look at the trees in that future scene, the trees and the way that they're like the technology in what was the purpose of showing her all of that information?
Leanne has had a great wonder about the new earth.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost tormenting her sometimes, but
Yeah.
It's just she's already imagined it.
Yeah.
It's already created. It's more magnificent than we can possibly imagine. But to have a greater glimpse of it helps bring it closer. To hold that imagery allows that prayer to be answered. And to calibrate herself and others to hold the vibration of being there. We have to imagine it, continually imagine what we'd like the new earth to look like in the greatest and grandest way possible. And that is literally what brings it in. And it's possible that we each have our own creation of what we'd like the new earth to be. it looks exactly like we'd expect, right? Or maybe
Yeah.
exactly like our hearts would like it to be, the greatest prayers we've ever prayed, but and beyond. But um, these giant trees are fantastic, like
Amazing.
beyond, and being nature. It's really, I think, what Sophia is being nature. So being the consciousness that is behind everything. And you can travel in it. You can go in any blade of grass. You can go in any drop of water. You can be anything. And the joy that brings is just beyond our current imagination. But that's what Leanne really wants, to be able to be nature.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we go ahead and would you like to do a body scan for her?
Yes.
Why don't we go ahead and do that? Just go ahead and do a scan through her physical body and chakras. And just kind of tell me what you're doing as you do it.
Okay. So I'm in the pineal chakra. Leanne's had some questions about some of the activations happening here.
Yeah.
She's being shown there's a beam of light that we have beams of light coming from our pineal chakra, and they extend beyond our head. This is an activation done by Drunvalo Melchizedek, but gifted to him from, I believe, the Kahuna of Hawaii. And this is a Pleiadean activation. It's being strengthened. So you activate these poles coming from your pineal gland, and they're like these antennae beyond your head. They've been depicted in a lot of sacred art or holy art, where people have a halo or a veil or like a round shiny thing around their head in art.
Yes.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
But it's a very specific activation that is happening for many people and can be activated logically or with intuition. There's a specific beam that is, so it goes straight through your forehead into the pineal chakra and out the back. It goes straight down from the top through the pineal chakra all the way down through the body. It goes side to side, kind of above the ears. And then there's another one that is 45 degrees above the pineal chakra, going from above 45 degrees down through the pineal chakra out the back. And Leanne has always wondered, what is that? That is being strengthened is it is the connection to the Pleiades. It is the beam of light that we must be attuned to, that connects us to our star mothers. And the geometry Leanne is drawing is showing that. It opens up your pineal chakra in a way that allows you to receive all the codes and information you need to be a master here. Be your full potential.
And this is all being activated and or continuing to be activated for her now.
Yeah, I think the reason why Leanne wanted to speak about it is that it's something that needs to be known. It needs to be activated by anyone who wishes to be more fully connected to their higher self and star beings and guides. And it's like opening a window in your head.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
And
And it's also the angle. The angle of it is very important, that 45 degrees.
Okay.
It allows you to, I don't know the full geometry yet, but it allows you to get beyond the wall that is beyond your pineal chakra. There's a little bit of a barrier there that is keeping us from advancing too quickly, but it is giving you the codes that you need to advance beyond this chakra system into a new dimension, really.
Is there a way that those that would maybe hear this would be able to access this activation?
Yeah, right, yeah. I believe the Kahuna of Hawaii have been passing this down for a very long time, very likely from Mu, Lemuria. And it was gifted to Drunvilla Melchizedek, who has a lecture about it on Gaia TV in his Sky Heart workshop. But it's also on YouTube. I think the activation of the pineal chakra is just a clip of him doing that from that workshop. Very likely people are doing it intuitively. But yeah, it's
beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank
anyway,
you.
so Leanne, the long story short, that is really what is bringing in this geometry from a feminine perspective. It's allowing these waves to come in and giving, really, it just gives you the codes of your own personal mastery. It's different for every person.
Yeah, great. Okay, so what else? What else do you see in the scan?
Yeah.
What else is popping up, if anything?
Okay.
Anything that needs attention, or?
So Leanne is concerned about her spine from a little car accident yesterday.
Yes.
It's a bit achy today. There's no damage.
Okay.
Just a bit of jarring that can be released through massage and fascia rolling.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing to worry about. But it's a wake-up call to be more present.
Yeah.
To also realize that this vehicle is very precious, to take care of it, to do what is needed for the body in each moment. It is not an afterthought. It is the vehicle for receiving all of the pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And that is something that she can step more fully into, is really honoring her body as this beautiful temple of light.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is there any light or healing that could be applied to her spine or her back right now, just to ease up the soreness?
Yeah. So she's seeing light coming in through her hands and feet and through the sides, in through almost like the tiny and nerve endings. It's like reverse almost. Light coming in from the nerve endings into the larger nerves and into the spine.
Oh, wonderful.
That's beautiful. Wow, I'm gonna do that more often.
Yeah.
Just so it's like pulling prana in. It's pulling light in from all around me. It's attuning the finer bits of my nervous system to bring in life force energy into the center.
Mm,
It's beautiful. I feel it in my spine.
good. That's wonderful.
It looks like sort of the capillaries on even the little root hairs on a root, and it picks up the finer nutrients,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it goes up and up and up into the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar.
Yeah.
So really we are trees.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's so great. Wonderful. Can you continue doing that while she goes through the rest of the scan?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. And what else comes across in your scanning? Is there anything blocked or?
Mm. There was some question about her kidneys. She's had some kidney issues in the past. It's really unexpressed anger that needed to be transmuted. Um, the healing is done, and she doesn't need to worry about the kidneys anymore.
Okay.
And that transmutation was very important, even though it was painful, and that it was helping to transmute the water on the earth,
Mm.
the water in her body, remove the hurt and the anger from just things that have happened, the density, the stories.
Yeah.
So we are transmuting as we transmute our anger and our fear, which is beneath it. We are transmuting the water on the earth as we change it in our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's all for now. I think
Good.
the scan feels complete.
Okay. And the outside, the auric field, does that look clear? Does it look strong? I was just looking at it, trying to look at it myself.
Yeah.
Looks like looks pretty clear to me.
Mm-hmm. The nervous system gathering in the light is really connecting to the fields outside of her body, even.
Mm-hmm. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Thank you
It's like
so
lightning
much.
going inside of an egg.
Oh, wow. I can see all of the little tiny. You're doing such a good job describing. I can see all of the tiny capillaries and all of the light coming in and everything flowing through. It's beautiful. Would it be okay if we went ahead and went through some of her questions? I know some of them have been answered, but
Yeah. If they've been answered, we can,
yeah,
just touch upon them or gloss over or,
absolutely.
Yeah, but yes, that's perfect.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, so let's see here. So I'll just go down the line. So she was talking about her first husband, John, and wants to know what the connection is with him and why is it such a challenge.
He is providing the extreme contrast that she needs to see more fully who she is. He is providing a mirror for what religion has done, especially to the feminine in all of us. Not that there isn't some truth there. There's many truths in many religions all over the world, all throughout time. But that he's showing very clearly how a lot of those have been hijacked by controlling mechanisms that wish to a siphon energy, really.
Mm-hmm.
So Leanne is learning on a very deep level how to um, keep her energy whole and pure and not allow any other beings to siphon that energy if they are not connected to their hearts. Um, there is no reason to give your energy to anything that is not connected to source.
Mm-hmm.
And refusing to give your energy to a dead end will allow you to have that energy for creation, for blessing others, for showing up in your greatest potential. So those beings have been placed here on this earth as um, sort of little siphons,
Yeah.
just to test us, just to
Mm-hmm.
see, to give us wisdom, to allow us to unfocus so that we can focus once again on what we truly want, but also to have these beautiful stories that we can be the hero of our own journey.
Mm-hmm.
So what to be done with that?
Mm-hmm.
Leanne can continue to meditate every day and polish her field.
Okay.
So that there are no energy leaks toward any being that is a dead end. And knowing that the moment we stop feeding that is the moment they lose their power.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Can you give her some insight on resolving this custody battle with the children?
Those beings who refuse to connect to source will be recycled in absolute love and light and gratitude and appreciation for their service. In this next year, those beings who refuse to connect to source will choose their exits.
Mm.
Whether that looks like those entities leaving those human bodies and they are free, or whether if there's too much of a connection to those dead end energies disconnected from source, if their bodies are too connected, they will choose to leave. And their bodies will also leave or be, recycled into the beautiful earth with much gratitude for their service. It is a time of deep understanding and the facing of all of our fears, which I think our greatest fears of death, which we've been programmed to fear. It really is a graduation. Leanne has had experience with death as a hospice chaplain, and her best friend died when she was 10, and they were 10. She has learned to love it. She has learned to look at it with joy and gratitude and safety and peace. There is nothing to fear. And she has also understood that without death, nothing on this world would have been possible.
Mm-hmm.
However, as we shift into these higher energies and as we shift into the new earth energies, anything that has ever lived or died, their consciousness is in every element. So you can tap into the understanding in each element as it's lived its lives through the many bodies. So beautiful.
That was great.
So Leanne has wondered if perhaps her ex-husband may.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know. And the highest prayer is that he will understand and wake up. And,
Yeah.
it really truly is. But it's also a surrender
Yeah.
of all control, of wanting whatever to happen, knowing that it will all work out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that good for her to take into this custody situation then? Surrender?
Yeah, to truly hold the highest energies possible
Mm-hmm.
in every moment, to um, give compassion and love, to release any resentments and forgive, um, to not give energy toward any dead ends, any
Mm-hmm.
energies that are disconnected from source.
Okay.
Truly, they are connected to source anyway, but
Yeah.
they've just forgotten.
Yeah.
And maybe to even hold the highest prayer of remembrance. Like, what does that look like? Hold those images for even my ex-husband, to really truly wake up, um,
Yeah.
if at all possible.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Is there anything she can do right now she wanted to know, as far as supporting the children? How can she support them right now?
They are each on their perfect journey. Knowing that is key. Um, they each are courageous beings of light showing up, and they are given very distinct parents on very far ends of the spectrum, so that they might see very clearly what it is they want. Um, Leanne will continue to hold the highest prayer for their father and herself to be the most loving parents possible, um, with the trust that um, the density and difficulty will clear up in the highest and best way, so that the children can be free to be who they need to be. She does not know what that looks like, but she is willing to hold that prayer and release all outcomes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and ask about, since we talked about John, what can you tell her about her connection to Corey? And why did he attack her?
Yeah. It was a contract
Okay.
that he held for her, so that she may witness and feel on the deepest levels the density of this current creation. That is how she can forgive him. It's by knowing that he was acting in a way that allowed her to break the darkness,
Okay.
crack it open a little bit, and kind of see the densest things that have been created here, so that she might invite it in to be loved.
Oh. This was all for her benefit. That's great. It's good information.
Yeah.
And can she use this and find that place of forgiveness, so that she has the peace. So she has peace.
Yeah, it's really been a journey of forgetting the heart so that we've all had our stories. For Leanne, it's been quite a long journey, a dense one perhaps at times, of forgetting her heart, of who she truly is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same being who is coming back and remembering through all these things. It's like they're also the doorway into remembering the heart, to remembering, truly what is wanted, what is desired, who am I? And
Mm-hmm.
We get to be the hero again in our own journey. And so Leanne is stepping into, what does it look like to be the hero of your story?
Mm-hmm.
Really alchemizing the density into something far greater than she would have experienced without that density. So the forgiveness comes in knowing that it was all necessary, and to set down any lingering trauma, because she knows that she is safe moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Can she release this? Is she ready to release it?
She's being shown a picture of like a sphere,
Mm-hmm.
her sphere of light hugging the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And the releasing is having no more charges with it, no more dance, no more hooks, just really like absorbing it into her heart, where there really is no darkness in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing to be afraid of. It was all illusions and stories that she needed to tell herself to really understand more.
Good. That's great. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so this brings me to now. And can you give her some information on her connection to Eric?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Eric is a benevolent embodiment of the darkness. Huh. He is showing what truly can be created from 0 point without fear. He is showing Leanne that there is nothing to fear.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. That truly darkness is stillness and peace and quiet. And those entities or whatever thought forms that are chaotic are truly not in alignment with the heart of in the womb of darkness, where everything comes from. They're little wobbles. But as you stay centered in your heart, you no longer have to resonate with any wobble. And you can trust that moving forward, all things coming into your space are in alignment with your heart. And that's what Eric is. He is an alignment of myself.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So she has a little, was expressing a little, some fear, some hesitation around it. Is there, can she clear these fears? Can she release them so that she can embrace this romantic partnership and get the joy from it?
The fears stem from those previous relationships where she tried to give her heart and it was trampled upon.
Yeah.
There is nothing to fear with Eric. He is incapable of trampling upon anything because he's so centered in who he is. And the fear of maybe sharing a life or sharing space is really just those last bits of those wobbles that are being alchemized into creation. So Leanne is removing her energy from disconnected energies into like plugging in almost to source. Eric actually embodies the void. When he goes into hypnosis, he sees nothing. And Leanne is very fascinated by this. And so their energy fits together quite beautifully. He's providing space for her to be creative because he's taking nothing.
No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So if she wants to, could she move in with him if she wants to?
Yes. After the custody situation has cleared, which will be in the next month or two, then it will be a good time. And that her life will be more beautiful than she can imagine. That it is time to let go of scarcity, to let go of this old stories, to set them down, to look forward into what she's wanted and to allow herself to go do it. Have a beautiful partner to explore with.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. And she had expressed a little bit of concern. She doesn't want to be codependent or be distracted from her pursuits. Does she need to worry about that?
Leanne is learning to work on what she needs to work on, regardless of what he's doing. And finding that balance between personal pursuits and joint activities and the pursuits. And he is very supportive of anything she wants to do, which is very freeing. So Leanne feels this new sense of freedom and is feeling it out. And she was just so wondering, is it even possible to feel freedom with a man? But it can only be done for any partnership, really. If each person is not trying to control the other, gifting full freedom, gifting full unconditional love, regardless of whatever it is they wish to express. And that freedom is what draws me to him. So I don't need to worry about ever not having freedom, because that he's holding this beautiful container for me.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so Leanne will learn the balance. It's just a trial and error, just daily exercise, just setting aside time for her own personal things and just knowing she doesn't have to answer to anyone. It's her own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. So and this is to me is connected to the relationship questions.
Mm-hmm.
She had a question: what is the role of sexuality for me moving forward?
Yeah, this has been an interesting thing for Leanne. It is something that was very shamed and squashed in the religion
Mm-hmm.
and in her marriage, which apparently she wanted to experience. um, what does it feel like to not have that part of your body and self activated? And it's very lonely and sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sexuality is part of Leanne's expression on this earth. It's part of her ability to connect to the highest levels of resonance with herself and her higher self. Um, she enjoys the dance of connecting with her partner, and they speak the same language.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful, and there's nothing that needs to be done. There's nothing that needs to be controlled. It doesn't have to look a certain way. Um, it's just really in those expressions of mutual love. There is a beautiful light language that is released. It's written all around as the possibility of sharing something so beautiful and sacred in the moment with a partner. Um, our world has been very sort of obsessed with romance almost, and it's
Mm-hmm.
I think Leanne and Eric are just showing what is possible in a relationship, and it's very beautiful.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So the sexuality will come, like it will show up. That's funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so Leanne, just when she's in her heart, she can express and channel, movements and breath work and exactly what's needed to come through in that moment. And that's all that is needed, really, is to be in the present.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. All right. And let's see. Before I go to the next question, I just wanted to ask if we could just put a little bit of healing light into her heart space. Just kind
Yeah.
of put a little light in there and
Yeah.
maybe expand it just a bit. Just kind of just let some of that, if there's any lingering heaviness, just kind of move that out of there. Just expand it a little bit for you.
Thank you.
And if there's any particular color of light or energy that you would like to just fill the space up with, you can do that now.
I'm seeing a bright yellow green, lime green.
Good. Yellow, green.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's good. How's that feel?
Better. That's really
Good.
good. Yeah.
Good, good, good. Yeah, that's good. I think that should help. It seems like
Thank
that was
you.
needed. You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. So let's see. Let's go to the next question. So all of this geometry, what's the purpose of receiving and studying all of it?
Yeah, Leanne has seen a lot today with geometry.
Mm-hmm.
but really the higher purpose is to embody it, is to put these pictures and codes and waves on the outside of her energy field.
Okay.
And then when she's in a state of love, her energy field just grows and grows, and it's so big. And those vibrations can be picked up. They can be like a radio station almost. And we're learning to emit our own light as we are more in alignment with our higher selves. Anyway, so she can emit that light and be the vibration of it. She's also drawing pictures of those things, and she's finding that as she shows these pictures to close friends who are in tune with their hearts, that they are being activated. So there's a whole notebook full of sort of the stories and logic and how she got there and what it is and why, and even math, and it's fascinating. And she is meant to put it all into a little book.
Okay.
With diagrams, and it's almost like using logic and left brain to convince the right brain that this wavelength is real. But there's a lot of people in that space that would really enjoy that, and you get to the point where you cannot refute that this shape is putting you in the resonance of the mother, of the heart of the earth. Of
wonderful.
It's so beautiful, and it's just so simple. It's complicated if you want it to be, and quite simple. So eventually, if people don't want to use the logic and the math behind it, Leanne finds that interesting, but you can look at the picture and feel it. You don't necessarily need to know all the angles and everything, but it allows you to imagine yourself in the resonance of the mother and become it.
Wonderful. So great. She can get this into a book. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And I'll just segue in from that. So is there guidance for her for business and also receiving money? Is there some guidance around this for her to take forward today?
Receiving money has been very dense for her, very difficult. It is sort of one of those dead ends of patriarchy, which is to say, you have to rely on a man, or so she is removing her energy from that idea that is not true.
Good.
And realizing that all she needs is from within herself, and those who come into her life to assist and give their gifts to expand. But as far as receiving money, Leanne needs to imagine herself as a vessel. It's like a crystal bowl or a cup where she is resonating her sound, her gifts. This crystal bowl is singing, right? And she is a bowl that is receiving the gratitude of those who receive her gifts. And the money flows in when she becomes that crystal bowl. She can just imagine being that, and that people are so grateful for what she is offering, that they want to pay her. They want to give gifts. They want to help support Leanne for the journey that she's been on. But Leanne really has to have open hands.
Mm-hmm. It's okay to receive.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Good. Yeah, and can she combine maybe, you know, the quantum healing and the other gifts, the other modalities, and even this, perhaps this booklet? Can this all be combined? Can this all be part of this abundance, this business?
Yeah. Leanne is seeing there's a little booklet, but then she adds in meditations.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible to have some recorded meditations that, you know, you click on a code and it opens it up and it takes you directly to the meditation or something.
Yeah.
Or, you know, links or whatever, YouTube videos or recordings. Um, she's been very, very reluctant to do that. But there's nothing to fear other than receiving amazing things. um, but yeah, she can add breath work. She has a bunch of breath work that would assist in activating this beam or ray or
Mm-hmm.
vibration, visualizations. She wants to make some kind of maybe a group regression or a guided meditation, but
Yeah.
you know, there's a little hypnosis
Mm-hmm.
involved. She wants so badly to have some kind of structure and to know what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It's an organic growth of just doing one day at a time, one moment at a time,
Yeah.
following her heart, connecting with those that come to mind, sharing when called to share. And really creating that daily container for receiving and processing and writing. Just a commitment daily, and it'll be done.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. All right. And it kind of brings me to the question about, even though we touched on it, the connection to Sophia. So I think what she kind of wants to know is, should she channel this energy? Is that something she should be doing and sharing?
Yeah. Um, Leanne has wondered if she should even change her name.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's not quite there yet. Or maybe it's the name of the book that is kind of what she's embodying, but it doesn't need to be an identity necessarily, even though it's what she's doing. Leanne can channel Sophia. She will practice on her own first. If there are things that can be shared, she can choose how she wants to share it, whether it's written or audio clips or videos.
Okay.
She has a great desire to bring the remembrance of Sophia back into our planet. It is necessary for our advancement.
Yeah.
So the more that she shares, the more people have some guidance or something to look to or some remembrance within themselves um, about this softer, beautiful ray of light that really we can all tap into if we like.
Great.
Yeah. So there's nothing to fear. With those who are waiting to hear these messages are ready. Um, and those that are not meant to hear them, they have nothing to say.
Yeah.
You know, there's no fear of um, criticism or anything. It's just, it's okay to move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. I just want to do all the personal questions. So, will there be a moment of transformation for her? Is that coming? Or maybe there'll be more than one moment.
She wants so badly for some kind of just like waking up from a cocoon into being a butterfly. She's wondering if it's a belief system that can be set down or if it's something that really is meant to happen. The only way to that is kind of peeling off those last layers of fears into embodying any messages, any inspiration, doing whatever she's called to do. That is the doorway. She has made a promise to be here on this earth until the entire earth is shifted. And she has done that. And is a little impatient sometimes. But will it happen? What does it look like? If there's any the way out is in. There's a period of resonance that she has seen. It is what is talked about in Egyptian culture, in the Masons, kind of in the Mormons. Like, it's really circling the square. It's that symbology, but she's tapping into this with her geometry. When the circumference of a circle matches the circumference of a square drawn directly over the top of it, that is very close to Christ consciousness. It is sort of the marriage of external and internal. And it's this beautiful resonance that we can be within ourselves, but the earth is also doing that on a very large scale. It's like Christ consciousness cube is cubing the sphere. Leanne has understood that there is a very beautiful math that goes from that 2D picture to the 3D picture. So she is embodying, she is bringing in the codes to do that, to reach the edge of your sphere, to the skin of the universe, really. and she has to live it first. She has to be it, embody it. Many people are figuring this out as well in their own way. This is just her way. But she can share what she's doing as she goes. And it brings a lot of her beautiful brothers and sisters with her. She needs to trust that this is real.
Yeah.
And it is a higher vibration than what we have experienced separately. It's something we can experience all together, far beyond. We're linking up our energy fields. Again, being that bridge.
Yeah. So it sounds like to me that she is in the transformation. It's all happening now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to see straight when you're in like a liquefied pupa state.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it feels like. But it's it's truly trusting that all the pieces are coming together where they need to. And what I see is the resonance that we are embodying is touching the edges. It's almost like a baby that's being born finally gets to touch its mother's skin. It feels like that's what we are about to do. Yeah.
That's lovely.
And realizing you never were separate anyways.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, good. Wonderful. So and I know you heard all these questions, but what about plant medicine? Is there any plant medicine that can be of assistance to her process currently?
Yeah. It is actually important for Leanne to be very clean with whatever she takes into her body, including food.
Okay.
And that those beautiful plant teachers can be there when she is called to it, and she will know. But if there is any ever question as to whether it's needed or not, it's a no.
Okay.
So that what she can learn to do is to trust her heart even more, that this imagery and all of this knowing is coming truly from her heart. And those substances are wonderful and helpful, but she can receive answers in many different ways.
Yes.
Plant medicine is one of those. So combo is a very good thing for her now, so that she might kind of cleanse and just clear her energy fields and digestive tract, and allow those nerve endings to be more connected to her energy sphere around her. So that it's almost like extending your nerve endings beyond your body, so that you can have just more resonance and information coming in. But anyway, combo will help her with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and she'll know beyond that, if at all, if anything.
Great. Perfect. Okay. Let's see here. Good. So what more can be known for her about Shambhala? Was it home?
Shambhala is the beautiful, it's like a masculine etheric fortress that guards the heart of the earth. You can only go there if you are pure in heart, and it is not a place necessarily, it is a resonance and a state of being.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a copy of it inside each of our hearts.
Wonderful.
And yeah, when we reach that wavelength of that soft mother, when we tune in, it's like this key that goes through the courtyard of this city. The city is really like a three-dimensional cube. It's the Kala Chakra in the Buddhist tradition. There's a picture of it. To me, it is the gates of Shambhala. And it is also, I remember the name of it, there's a South American picture of sort of a four directions. It's the four directions. It's really being so tuned into your heart that you can go through the doorway into the very center, and you only create in resonance then. So, you know, this desire that people have had to get to Shambhala, and they go on these treks across the world and try to find the doorway. It's not an external journey at all. It's an internal one. We each have the key if we tune into it.
That's great. Okay, thank you. And she asked about our chakras. So have our chakras shifted into a new resonance?
Yeah, something is changing. The idea of our root chakra being in our body is no longer relevant. The root chakra is extended all the way now to the center of the earth. If you feel disconnection in any way, it's just not remembering that your root chakra goes all the way down to the heart. And so it brings up that knowing of the heart of the earth. And the same goes with the crown chakra. It isn't, it's above our heads, but it extends to all light, to the sun, to all the light that we are participating in, the moon. So to kind of expand your energy field, you really do need to bring your upper and lower chakras to the edges of everything. So what it leaves in the body is the pineal chakra, the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the solar plexus, and the sacral. It's like those are expanding as well. We are learning to expand our chakras beyond our bodies so that they are on the edge of our energy field. This is the key to the Merkaba. Each of the chakras is a point on the Merkaba. When we truly expand them all, by being so clear, by being so pure, by expressing what needs to be expressed, by facing our fears, by, you know, dancing this dance, those chakras are just informing our beingness from the outside in.
Okay.
Yeah, just there's an expansiveness happening to our energy field that it's safe to expand. There's no need to protect ourselves as much as we thought we needed to.
Beautiful. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just looking at the questions. Okay. And so the next question, or one of the last questions, is really seeming to be for the collective. So she was asking what was going to happen the rest of this year going forward, and wanting to know what we can do to prepare and to be in that high vibration.
Leanne is being shown that as we are in our hearts, we are the eye of the storm. The eye of the storm is so peaceful, so calm, so beautiful. And there are many, many people all throughout the earth who are embodying this beautiful stillness. We can be still in our hearts no matter what we're doing, but it is important to be still in our own place, to really tap in multiple times every day. Just, and it could be a breath, it can be 5 minutes, it can be longer, but to center your heart and just allow the energy fields to line up with the heart of your heart, the heart of the galaxy, the universe. Just feeling that stillness amid the possible chaos around us. And that stillness is what brings those who are sort of looking for some kind of peace. They will wonder, why do you feel so peaceful? What have you been doing?
Yeah.
And those people who ask those questions will be drawn to, what have I been doing? You know, it's, well, here's some geometry. Here's what the breath work is. Here's what I've been doing, and this is how I made it through, and this is my gift to you. There may be others who wish to remain in the chaos energies, and that is perfectly okay. We do not need to engage in fear unless you want to. Those who engage in fear, there is no judgment, because that is perfect for them to clear whatever it is they need to clear, or to face whatever it is they need to face. Everything is in alignment, in perfection. All that is needed now is to be in your own resonance, in your own heart, resonating with your greatest desires, with what it is you're bringing into the world, birthing with your creativity. This is a great, beautiful time of creative outpouring as people are being called to their deepest gifts to share. It's very beautiful, and we get to partake of each other's mastery. Continue to hold the space of, I wish to play with only masters, for Leanne at least. And sometimes those masters come in different flavors, you know, to finish teaching me what I need to learn. But it's getting much less dense, where it's like, eat the best food and enjoy the most beautiful things you can in nature, and you know, have the most beautiful romance and home, and just really invite all of that in. There's no need to struggle unless it is part of your learning process. You know?
Yeah.
So I see everybody as being the creator of their own spheres. We are being drawn into whatever experiences that are needed at this time. Gratitude and appreciation is a huge key now to bring in more of what you desire and love.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay. And is there anything else that wants to be shared for Leanne that we didn't discuss?
Leanne has a question about the Lyrans.
Mm-hmm.
Just wondering what connection she has, where they are, what's
Mm-hmm.
happening. It feels like they are, this is a strange image, but it's like they are on the inside edge of sort of this bubble or skin of Sophia. So they're just right on the very edge, on the inside edge, kind of observing. They're observers.
Yeah.
They're kind of a progenitor creator race, very, very, very advanced. It's like they're watching their children finish their work.
Yeah.
And they're very excited and happy to be watching this almost like popcorn happening of all these beings waking up and connecting to all the dimensions at once. So they feel like kind of this parental, like parent energy. And they're so excited. They're just so pleased and joyful at watching this mass enlightenment going on, because we are their children, and it's allowing them to advance. So truly, it feels like the edges of the universe are expanding.
Yeah.
That all beings, all creatures, all light, all resonance that has contributed to this earth, every single one of them is expanding into something more because of their participation in this beautiful experiment here. It's the expansion is so much bigger than we have had words to speak about.
Wow.
But it is, again, that going inward first in order to expand. And there may be something beyond even Sophia, like she is almost ready to shift even beyond, or some kind of divine union. But it's a different math than we've had.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more of it's like a spiral. We are moving beyond duality into a new way of creating. Much more resonant.
Wow. That's great. Okay. All right. And let's see. Are there any other messages to be shared for the collective?
Most of what is spoken today, what has been spoken today, can be shared, and is beneficial. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. We are the creators. We are each creating our own realities.
Mm-hmm.
Where you are looking is where you are going. So continuing to ask big, to imagine big, to trust your imagination, to go back into that childlike state and imagine how you'd like the earth to be. Your biggest, wildest imagination is really what is pulling in um, this beautiful new earth.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's truly being a child, being
Yeah.
a beautiful child who is tapped into all dimensions, um, and realizing that what you imagine is real. Um, and why would you create anything other than beauty and
Mm-hmm.
connection and grace and peace and joy? Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Just one last question. If it's appropriate, are there any final messages for me before we close out today?
You are connecting to your star mothers,
Hmm.
each of you,
Mm-hmm.
to your ray, to your family, to your resonance. Um, you said you are connected to Alcyon, which is very true.
Mm-hmm.
And as we remember, as you remember, as we all remember, um, those beautiful seeds that we've been blossomed from, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We hold the codes, each of us, you hold the codes within yourself for transformation, um, for exactly what you need in this life and more. Um, so we are showing up for each other even to um, provide more of the vibrations that we need. Um, we each hold codes
Mm-hmm.
that we're gifting to each other to advance our consciousness. So it truly is a working together, collaboration, as needed, as wanted. Um,
That's great. Thank you.
yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. All right. Okay. So, do you feel like this is a good time to close? Do you feel like this is a pretty good completion point?
Yes. Yes, I feel complete.
Okay, good. All right. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, I'd like to ask that the higher self and all of the other beings who assisted today recede into the background to continue the work over these next few days and nights. You can continue any healing work in the background. Thank you so much for all of the information and all of the healing that you have brought forth today. Now, I would like all of the consciousness of Leanne to return to her body now and fully integrate back into the body, fully integrating back into the body, replacing all of the other aspects that we were working with. Now, all of Leanne's personality and consciousness has fully returned to the body and has replaced all of the other aspects that we were working with. Now, I would like Leanne to invite a loving intention from the heart to anchor in this new energy into your consciousness. And just allow the intention to come from the space of love and be simple. Just allow an intention to come up now and be anchored into the consciousness now. And just feel this intention spreading all across your being. And if you'd like, you can share the intention with me now.
The word and energy that comes to mind is grace.
Grace. Beautiful. Perfect. So remember that this life is the most important life because this is the life you are physically focused in. And as you go over this material and apply it to your life, it will not bother you in any way. This information will empower you on your path as a free-willed divine creator, and you will easily integrate what you have learned, and you will continue your awakening path with increasing love and grace and ease. And in a few moments, I'm going to go ahead and count from 1 to 10. And when I get to 10, you will be fully awake and you will easily remember all of the helpful information that we have found today. You will have an easy and joyful integration, and you'll start a new pathway and a higher timeline. Now follow me up. 1 and 2. You are beginning to breathe deeper as you take over the body, welcoming in fresh breath and fresh energy back into your body. 3 and 4. You begin to move fingers, toes, moving the body slowly as you take over the body completely now, and you begin to wake up. 5 and 6. You're beginning to hear the sounds around you and you feel the space you are in as you begin to wake up and fully take control of the body. 7, 8. You're coming back into your body, feeling more joy, more clarity. 9 and 10. Fully awake. Ah, there you go. Welcome back.
Sit up here.
Yeah, wonderful. There we go.
Here. There we go. Wow.
Yeah, fantastic.
Wow.
That was great.
I was in for a minute there, huh?
Yeah. That was wonderful. What a great session.
Wow. Yeah.
How you feeling?
Really good.
Good?
Yeah,
Good.
it was more than I
Yeah.
thought would come through. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, lots of good information. That's wonderful. What does anything stand out to you before it fades away?
Yeah. The geometry is fascinating. It's just more clear than ever. And it's really like I could take my consciousness and fly inside and outside of it and all around. And it's like being a 3D program. I can go in there and play. It's fun. And then the new earth and the trees. Whoa.
Amazing.
Those trees are big.
Amazing.
Really big.
Wow.
And it's possible that they can be etheric trees or whatever it is, but they're so big. And it feels like home.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's quite similar to the shape. The trees are similar to the shape of Shambhala on the inside of the earth. It really is.
Yeah.
Like Shambhala is being birthed into nature.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
So yeah, that's
Yeah. Very nice. Wow. Real. Yeah. Well, we got it answered all your questions.
Thank you so much. That was a
Which is
lot. You
awesome.
held some serious space for me.
Oh, great. That's great. I gotta stop the recording.